Alright guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our last game of the day here, Warriors Gaming Unity versus TNC Pro Team. And well, TNC definitely have to win this one if they want to have any shot at making it through WGU. Let's actually check where they're at. Lost the first game against Execration, but they won against Signify. So if they win this one, then I think they should be through together with Execration, if I'm reading this correctly. So, yeah. Important one for them as well. Should be interesting. My name is Dragondorp, and this time around, I'm joined another time by the Wacky Neff. Welcome back.
The Wacky Neff. Elusive, apparently.
Elusive and also bad at keeping time, apparently.
Apologies. It's one of those weekends. Anyways, first couple of picks coming out. Nature's Prophet. Extremely solid. Normally he's banned out in the first phase when he makes it through. People are normally more than happy to pick him. I guess TNC is thinking exactly that. And on the side of WarriorsGaming.Unity, Witch Doctor and Spirit Breaker, we saw what Spirit Breaker could do the game that I was joining with you earlier. Just complete map domination. And I guess Witch Doctor coupled with the Spirit Breaker, very good with that. It's a little bit weird seeing Witch Doctor come out this early in the first phase when there's heroes like Earthshaker and whatnot available, though, don't you think?
It really is. I mean, it's not like Witch Doctor is completely unheard of as a pick in this meta, but as a first phase pick, that's the first time I've actually seen him in a long while. So.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, especially with some of these other things in the pool. And then, of course, we see Earth Spirit, tons of utility from that hero. You're a resident Earth Spirit expert over here, so I'm quite happy to see him. Still, I wonder what that Witch Doctor pick in the first round really means. It's not like it's a massive counter to the Nature's Prophet. So
it's like it's a hero that can work some wonders with the Maledict as well. If you have some sort of fallout damage, even early on, it can turn kills that just got away into actual kills. You know what I mean? So there are some merits to the hero, and maybe it's just a comfort pick, and also a hero that doesn't really give away too much else in terms of drafting strategy.
10 seconds remaining.
But see the Nature's Prophet come out, and then the first two picks you take, Witch Doctor and Spirit Breaker, it strikes me a little bit odd, but I'm interested in seeing where they're going with this.
Well, Sven being banned out after the Queen of Pain.
TNC's
And
turn
Terrorblade,
to
alright. Terrorblade, a hero that obviously is one of the better carries up against Witch Doctor naturally in terms of the armor that he provides and that he has naturally up against the Death Ward later down the line. At the same time, just Maledict any sort of magical burst and he'll just die regardless.
5 seconds remaining.
But yeah, also one of these heroes that's it can turn into one of the hardest carries that Dota has ever seen, in my opinion.
Radiant team pick.
Yes, the hardest carry in the world. Anyways,
is that a weird anime
Emperor
reference? Or
no,
do you not do this?
not this time. Not this time. You made it very clear what happened to anime watchers on your cast after what happened to poor Delta Fox Bravo.
Was trying to entrap you, man. Don't worry about it. Alright, what do you think we're gonna see here now? I mean, Spirit Breaker already there, so what kind of heroes would you like to have in a lane that Spirit Breaker can gank? Or can gank with?
We might see a Queen of Pain on their side. We might see something like Marana, Weaver. I really can't really say. Like, a lot of things go quite well. Spirit Breaker, and again, Spirit Breaker just gives you a chance to dominate the map. Always like force the enemies to worry about where the Spirit Breaker is going to go next. You need like very good counter initiation, or counter initiation to deal with the Spirit Breakers gang coming in, or very powerful carries that like threaten the Spirit Breaker charging them in the first place, and that's somewhat limited. But it really looks like they're taking their time deciding how they want to fight the enemies with their lineup. But all right,
Okay.
Timbersaw, a very good counter to the Nature's Prophet as far as lore goes.
Cut down all the trees, right? But even if it makes them into treants, right? A farm Timbersaw will have no problems cutting those down either. So it's a strong hero in most games. We'll see if TNC want to break out the Ursa just as the classic counter again that we saw earlier today as well.
Yeah, God knows what happened to that team against the Ursa. They just melted. Pre-20-minute GG, right?
Poor clutch gamers.
Yep. Poor clutch gamers.
Yep. Oh well, let's not think about sad games of the past. Let's think about sad games of the future. Of the immediate future. Yeah, they did run most of the reserve time down with that pig TNC. They're on the verge to do the same thing.
Running down the reserve time, you mean?
Yep.
All right, let's talk about the Timbersaw against the Nature's Prophet and this musical lane situation then, because they're really limiting what we get to talk about here. All right, Shadow Shaman, never mind.
Okay.
Okay, this is starting to look like a push lineup between Nature's Prophet and Shadow Shaman. They're really easily going to be able to take down towers. Like, just tier 1s, you can backdoor with Sprout and Shadow Shaman's wards.
Yep. You want to go all in on this now and pick up something like a Lycan to combo it up with?
I wouldn't say so, because Lycan gets an option of pushing without the team, or being able to go around things, not have to work around cooldowns and whatnot. It can just go by itself and take down towers. So it's a little bit different than Shadow Shaman Nature's Prophet. Besides, you're going to need a little bit more power in the early game to help survive things like Spirit Breaker, Timbersaw, Witch Doctor, or else you're just going to get run over before your strategy can really take off the ground. And especially with like the Timbersaw on the other team, they don't really have any way to deal with it just yet. A lot of Nature's Prophet's damage coming out from his pretty powerful right clicks, as well as like the damage his treants do. Timbersaw doesn't really care about those things. Once he has 2 points in reactive armors, okay. Anyway, once he has 2 points in reactive armor, he doesn't really care about the damage that Nature's Prophet treants do, or Nature's Prophet right click does.
Yeah.
And Earth Spirit as well doesn't really deal enough damage per each of his abilities. He's got very powerful.
A lot of control, a lot of long range initiation, but yeah, not a lot of damage attached.
Just almost nothing.
Yeah.
Storm Spirit might be able to solve a little bit of those problems though, but changes up their strategy a little bit at the same time. They're gonna need some way to take down the heroes with Storm Spirit. Spirit Breaker, Timbersaw, and Ursa are all very tanky heroes, so I think at this point, as long as they watch the positioning of the Witch Doctor very carefully, it's going to be a little bit too difficult for the Storm Spirit to get ahead and do things that Storm Spirit is best at, like getting Bloodstone charges, like powering up, etc. At
the same time, at least he's not in a situation where he's facing a bunch of heroes that can knock him down very easily. Like, you can get away from Spirit Breaker, you can get away from the Witch Doctor cast, or Centimus have no control whatsoever that Storm really cares about. So as long as he has mana, as long as he is not being perma-bashed by the Spirit Breaker, or cask bounce on a single creep or something, he should be absolutely fine to do whatever he wants in a team fight. And maybe rely on the rest of his team to just get to a point where they can help finish up these kills.
Mm-hmm. Still, looks like they're going down with the last reserve time. Both these teams thinking really hard about how they want to finish up their drafts.
Looking for the safe lane here for TNC. So, anything, maybe Troll Warlord or Draw Ranger. Okay.
Okay, that's a pretty good way to finish up your Shadow Shaman Nature's Prophet strategy. Draw Ranger. So they're gonna go pretty heavily with their push here.
A lot of right clicking happening here in this game for sure. From the Shadow Shaman too, if you think about it.
Choose
It
your
does
hero.
start to add up. Now there's the puck. So there's some silence, there's some control factor for the Storm Spirit out of the middle lane. Also one of these, one of the most classic matchups, right? Storm versus puck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Storm definitely, I mean, Puck definitely having the advantage, being able to get clicks off on the Storm Spirit. We might see Earth Spirit just sort of sitting behind in the lane, harassing the Puck, maybe zoning him a little bit, so Storm Spirit can get the advantage at the start. But then again, Witch Doctor is also something that's very, very good against Witch Doctor can smoke in and get a cast, get even 2 bounces off on the Storm Spirit. Puck kills him pretty easily along with that, so they're gonna have to watch the Storm or Witch Doctor's rotations. They're gonna watch Spirit Breaker's rotations as well, especially before Storm Spirit hits level 6.
Yep. Someone's accusing me of perma-banning them in Twitch chat.
Why
I was
didn't you?
casting.
You should do it for even making such accusations.
Yeah. I didn't even see any of his messages in the chat. I have no idea why anyone would do anything to him. But hey, it's not my problem.
I don't even read the Twitch chat. I just force him to deal with whatever I say.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, if someone did permaban him, it probably was a reason. And if not, I really don't have time to get into it as we head into the game number 1 in this best of 1, so it's only this one game. I'm not making sense, I'm sorry. But it is time for WG.Unity here, with not all having the right names, even though they've been told to change them, as we do not have a ticket for this game. They're up against TNC, who all have the right names because they're professional like that. They're not professional in the sense that they like to spam Twitch, Twitch chat, I almost said. They'd like to spam lobby chat and whatnot every once in a while. But anyway,
no, I just let people
it's all in good
do their
fun.
thing. I kind of watch and that's it. All right, at the start of this game, we see again, we've been seeing musical lanes happen a lot in all these games. Timbersaw hitting up with his poor man shield along with the Witch Doctor on his team. We might see an early engagement. 1437 definitely doesn't want to be caught out here. He's standing in a decent location, so you can see the catching enemies in the fog. So yeah, doesn't end up getting caught out there. Ursa just sitting behind there by himself in bottom lane, starting it in PMS. Okay, let's talk about PMS real quick. Do you think that item's gonna be nerfed in the next patch if it's built on nearly every melee hero?
It might be, yeah, it's really strong. I mean, you're guaranteed to block 20 damage. Which is, like, if you think about it, it's the 4th to a 3rd of most heroes' base damage initially in the first levels. They'll start adding up, especially on a hero like a Timbersaw who already has defensive utilities in the form of the reactive armor. Just makes it almost impossible to just even hurt him at all.
Especially on certain heroes, like again, Timbersaw is like so hard to take down on so many heroes. You need to have the right counters to him in lane, or else dealing with him is literally impossible. Not like sort of impossible, but actually just impossible. You can't hurt him if you have the wrong lineup.
Well, task for the Nature's Prophet to try and deal with Sam H. It's not gonna have much success if he's sticking around down bottom. It made that laning choice. 90 on the Ursa up top. And, well, they can find an opening towards the Drow Ranger, running them down. There's definitely a possibility to get some kills. Yeah, or even a 1437 with the charge bouncing through. He's in trouble and he knows it now. The cast locking down just a little bit more. The follow-up slow from Knight. He didn't actually go for the Fury Swipes level 1, but it's still secure the first blood by Soda. Getting that one for himself. And same time, Creep Wave died. The Dire Creep Wave's still alive. So it's going to push into the Radiant Tower a little bit. Great start for the Psycho try.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want as far as Creep Wave goes. And do you really need Fury Swipes level 1 if you can slow with getting 3 heroes extra auto attacks off? You don't really need it. So this Shark level 1, I guess, pretty good pickup from him. Let's look at last hits and denies over in the mid lane. Puck, again, like I was sort of talking about earlier, has quite a bit of an advantage at the start of this, and I think it's going to get even worse for him now that
Great charge here, a lot of damage done to Cuckoo. Of course, pre-level 6, very vulnerable in the first place. Not quite enough damage just yet. The Orb of Venom, almost enough to take him out even. Damn, Cuckoo. Well, Spirit Breaker couldn't really continue to chase. Their Fly Solo would have been brought down by the tower if he did. Making that decision, just hoping for the best. And now, look, speaking of tower hits, our Korean pop singer, whoever that is, taking up quite a few of those. Now, look at him, he's so low. Earthspirit coming through, does get the last right click in. Damn, that is not an easy feat.
Yep. Very unfortunate for the puck there, especially considering he was dominating the lane prior to that happening. That's exactly the sort of thing Cuckoo needs to come back into this game, and he got it there. So that's a very aggressive dive where he didn't end up quite killing the Storm Spirit. He ended up paying the price.
Here we are again though, another charge. Still no level 2 from the Spirit Breakers, so all you get is this, what, 1.2 seconds stun instead of bashes along the way. Even if you continue to charge. He's gonna have to stay. Oh god, top lane. Shadow Shaman down already, and Tim's next on the list, 90. He'll give up his own life for it. Maybe, maybe not. One more right click. Alright, there it is. I was hoping he would survive that just because. They're getting the better end of the trade here. 1437 with the creeps trying to work up against screen, and Fairyfire not enough to keep him safe. It makes it a little bit better for TNC here. Why Solo decides once again to just walk away from that. And now coming right back in. He's level 2 now, so the bash coming through. 90 also making an appearance. And speaking of bashes, there it is. It just claims it himself. Green Popsing at the same time, middle lane. That was a solo kill, wasn't it?
It was.
On the Storm Spirit. Yeah.
Well, again, that's a lane where Puck definitely has the advantage. Drow War makes it a little bit easier for the Storm Spirit, but I think Drow was dead for part of that, so.
Also only, what, 10 damage at this point, and it's still not quite enough to bring him to where the puck is in terms of base damage with the 2 null talismans. Now, well, there it is. Tim's rolling in again. This time he misses it though. He doesn't have to throw out another stone to try and try and stun up the puck.
Still, it forces the puck to play a little bit more carefully against the Storm Spirit, so it gives the Storm a chance to gain a little bit of advantage. Like I was saying, Puck definitely has the advantage in this lane, as long as you can sort of zone him out with the Earth Spirit. Once Storm gets level 6, he's in a much better position. I think Spirit Breaker is coming up behind him to charge him from the back, though. So we'll see how Earth Spirit and Storm Spirit react to this. Never mind, he might have just been grabbing the bounty, doing...
Just hanging around, constantly looking for opportunities. There it is now. Oh, he even cancels Tim's TP is at the same time. Top, there's some action happening here. But we'll stick in mid. Cuckoo dropping lower and lower. Call being dropped. Need another couple of right clicks here. Tim's also, well, if he's here, might as well try and help out, but unable to really put enough pressure there onto this puck, and they will drop again before the roll can come through. Top lane, the Witchdog ended up dying in that tussle up here.
Yep, unfortunate for them, but having those 2 kills out in mid, especially in cancelling the Earth Spirit's TP, that was super unfortunate.
Yeah. It was just so random, but don't even think he had vision of him going, starting that charge.
Yeah, did not. But that's one of the things that's really good about charging from like the enemy side of the map on Earth Spirit is when you get them from like back here, when you're charging mid, like they have less time to react to it. They have like
even if they want to run away from it, they have to run towards you, right? So, this time it worked out just with a head-on maneuver. SMH, make rotation back here. Korean Pop Singer does have another orb in a second. Is it going to be enough to get him back? It is, with another charge coming through. Just to keep Tim's away. Now he's actually starting to drop lower and lower. The roll will not be blocked. The coil also just a little bit too late to catch him. He does catch SMH. Now they're trying to commit for this kill at the same time. The rock comes through as Tim's rejoins the party. They get the kill though. Another charge flies solo. The third one in this middle lane. Meanwhile, again in top. Why do they always have to fight in 2 places at the same time? I can't keep up with this. I literally cannot show both both fights at the same time.
They just want to make you look bad. They got together before the game. They said, "You remember that drag and drop asshole?"
I'm not putting this in bottom lane. SMH. Let's get back here, Velo. Oh, of course, on the timber size. Doesn't really care about diving at this point, so it's just gonna get the kill. Or is he? The hack's coming through from 1437. And they actually have enough damage. Wow. I did not quite expect that. Even with the the ether shock under the tier 2. I was expecting Timbersaw to stay alive there just because it's a Timbersaw.
Yeah. Over in top lane again, start to take a look at all the heroes' net worth and what they might need to, never mind, I don't get to do that because another charge is coming out.
Oh god, look at this now! Oh, it's the Nature's Prophet ultimate bouncing through, getting that kill, flies solo. Well, beating body blocked up now, SamH proper joins the party. But there's an Ursa, he's pretty fast with the face boots, turning things around with another charge. And he gets on top of somebody, gets gusted out of the Sprout, and then will actually beat Nature's Prophet death. Velo, of course, also making an appearance as part of that too. All of this also creates space for the creeps to hit away the tower.
Yep, still not as good as it could be, but they're definitely getting a tier 1 tower out of that, meaning more map control. Yeah, Nature's Prophet ultimate, pretty powerful when you're not just using it to farm creeps every time it's off cooldown, huh?
Yep.
Pretty useful teamfight ability.
Also great. Oh no, Cuckoo, not again. He dodges that bash though. Now still gets silenced up. Find a fight. Who got the arcane? No, it was also in the end. Tim's coming through, follow control and fly solo. SamH also being that +1, a long jump. But fly solo, that's a tanky space cow, and well, it's running circles around him, plenty of space for Puck to get that one kill. SamH is trying to TP out, says no, I'm out of here. But that will be denied too. Scream neck in that rotation. 2 for nothing. As TNC try to take a fight. Fly solo already on to the next one. 90. Made rotation on bottom, gets 1 solo kill. The charge will transfer up on Raven. Turns for the Gus, not gonna get it in time, and now 1 more right click or 2. We'll get that kill, follow up slow, and Tims is an absolute disaster. It's just a casual chain feed in every single lane.
Yep. This is exactly how you play Spear Breaker. Can't stop, won't stop.
Oh, SamH, he's going ham. 90 fly solo,
well,
both got dropped very, very low. SamH, well, controlled up, and of course he dies because, well, you get fly solo at the very least. 90 does have face boost off cooldown in a couple of seconds. Good body block so far. Now 1 for 37. Well, I spoke too soon. Good Sprout as well, keeping him away.
Questionable play turned into a very good one. Well played by TNC there.
Right.
But it's entertaining to watch, I'm sure, for everybody involved.
I was so ready for him to die, and then he just somehow survives.
I was ready for anything to happen there.
Like, if the face boots were available like 2 or 3 seconds earlier, he would have been able to make it through.
Unfortunately, they were not. He wanted to use them to gap distance earlier. I'll split on the map.
That's one thing that constantly happens though. Oh god, what is this? SamH is looking for the courier and he's finding it. What is going on in this game?
You know, sometimes you just have to get a little wacky with it. As much as you try and stay professional with your cast, sometimes the players stop you from staying professional.
This is not a game where you can stay professional for long as a caster. I don't think you just have to go with it, you know. SamH charged up again. Green Pup saying it does have another round of bursts available if he wants to commit for it, but this time they actually choose to hold off. Seems to be very rare in this game. I mean, it's not even 11 minutes in, scoreline's 22-9. Like what, almost 3 kills per minute?
Yeah, that is like 3 kills per minute. That's the dream, isn't it? That's how you want to play Dota 2.
Oh, yeah. CA Dota in a nutshell.
I'm starting to fall in love with this region, you know?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Every single time. No matter what team you watch, actually, it's... very rarely you get like long drawn out games.
Although that does happen sometimes. I think we cast it all day with nothing but the game, nothing but like 50 to 60 minute games all day long. That was something.
I forgot about that because I don't like to dwell on these kind of experiences as a caster, you know.
I like to grow from them, getting a strong mind.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Gonna charge onto Cuckoo. There's also pucks somewhere in this area, but it was just a bait. Didn't actually continue it. Would have been dodged probably by the chain ball lightning.
Alright. Let's see. What I was talking about before is net worth and items that we need to see coming out in both games for people to be getting an advantage what each team wants.
Oh,
right
better
now-
wrap that up quick because there's another charge.
Oh, come on, give me a chance.
It was cancelled.
That's
so,
solo.
a lot of heroes up here. The TP, okay.
Coil ends up
Not
missing.
quite the right spot.
Alright, now they're pinging. They're just flaming each other at this point. Solo, please give me a moment to try and do some sort of analysis on this game. Ursa, looks like he's torn between trying to get a Blink Dagger and a Vladimir's offering. He decided on a Blink though. He did have the Vlads on Quick Buy there, but he's gonna have a lot of power to initiate on Earth Spirit, Shadow Shaman, Drow, and Nature's Prophet with that Blink. The amount of like kill potential he has against the enemy team is like greatly increased. As well as I think they should be able to take Roshan. There's not really much being able to stop them from going to the pit and taking that. So it'll be interesting to see when they decide to do that. Maybe they'll decide to take a tower or two more. But probably shouldn't be more than like 3-4 minutes off where they go and do that. They still need the Mask of Death on the Ursa though, so once they have that, I imagine they'll go and take it.
Yeah, without that last heal, you'd need someone or something else to tank it up. Timbersaw would be able to do it, but at the same time, he doesn't want to spend that much time at the Roche Pit, if not necessary. Yeah. Right now, we're back to the old shtick. The team that's behind is grouping up and hoping for the best, but a charge coming through. Tim's in a good position to at least scout this out. So Cuckoo should be able to play through this. Nice little silence there as well from Raven, but so is from the puck. Yeah, the Cuckoo will still die. 1437 next on the list. Raven just straight up with the TP. Same with Tim's. Just evacuate. Alright.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
What is that, Trent? Is he smack talking me? I don't have time to actually read it. Something about German proverbs. I need to stop looking at chat, I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. Don't worry about that.
Alright, so talk to me about the Storm Spirit, because Cuckoo has had a very sad game so far.
I'm really not sure the Storm Spirit's presence in this game is that significant at this point. Again, Puck having the advantage of him in the early game, and them having heroes that are very good at ganking and pressuring him. We saw what Spirit Breaker did to him in the mid lane along with the Puck. Very sad game for him. I'm just not sure he's going to be able to come online and do what TNC need him to do in this game for him to really matter. I'm starting to think that there's not much TNC can do to even fight against the enemy team here. And again, here comes Roshan, the Mask of Death. Not quite on the Ursa yet, but they're gonna take this and then they're gonna push high ground, and Storm Spirit just doesn't do enough damage at this point.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen to the Radiant.
You get Roshan after all, even without the lifesteal. Vela was just tanking that one up. Raven down here is just trying to get whatever they can. The problem is there's so little farm on the map as well that's really safe to take, just because of all of this mobility that started to stack up. Also with a blink, as I said, Puck finished his up as well just a short while ago. Not to mention the Spirit Breaker, like Fly Solo, I was just gonna say stop charging around like a madman.
Radiant's bottom tower
But
is under attack.
just as I say that, he starts another one. Just keep an eye on Cuckoo, steeping all the way back.
But he's not stopping the charge though.
Yeah. Might as well use it to get close to the rest of the team, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
keep the vision up. Okay, Sam H. Keeping right into that one here. And now he has to be on the run. But there's no running from Nursa at this stage. Another charge, Tim's. Well, trying to turn us around. Nice silence, nice stone. Almost catching there inside the Serpent Walls that are being dropped. 1437 now fighting for his life, but the rest of his team leaving him for dead. That's exactly what he is right now. Double kill for 90 and... What? Alright. This is happening way too fast on the poor Storm Spirit.
This definitely isn't how you want your draw strat to be going, though. I think it's like the opposite, even. But yeah, now they're on top of the high ground. They don't have Serpent Wards to be able to fight these enemies. Their Storm Spirit's down for another 30 seconds. He might have to buy back, we'll really see, but I think they just lose their axe here. Especially considering they have the Aegis on the Ursa.
This is gonna be another sub 20-minute game. At some point I'm gonna have to start blaming you, because all the other games were a lot longer than this when you weren't there.
Yeah, I'm feeding the team's information as we speak.
Oh my god. Well,
they do manage to push the enemies back and not lose their axe there, though, so that in itself is somewhat impressive, given the advantage that WG have. But you're missing your timings if you're trying to run a draw strat here. Of course, you always have the option. You always have the ability to take towers extremely quickly once you do get online. But you want your advantage to start earlier than this. You want to start taking towers earlier than this. And there's just not much TNC can do to push out these lanes against this team. It's totally being dominated. I mean, Sam H is the right idea. He's going to try and creep cut here. But you can only do so much.
It's really much what this game comes down to. You can only do so much, Cuckoo. You can also only do so much to survive this particular gank. That's max amount to work with, but well. Timbersaw is actually one of the few heroes that can keep up with the Storm Spirit in the mobility department, depending on the amount of tree coverage in the area. Because of TNC. This is desperation mode now, isn't it? Just hiding there, just waiting for a solo hero to just walk up and...
Yes, this is indeed desperation. They're not even gonna go save him. Oh god.
Alright guys, I guess this hiding spot is not safe enough. We're gonna find some other trees to stay in.
Right, we're gonna sit here and wait for a hero. Alright, that is not the one that we go for. We don't want that one. Everybody out.
Oh man.
Poor Witch Doctor, or I mean, poor Shadow Shaman. He did not realize that that was what he was getting into. He was there with his friends. One hero came out. He thought, yeah, things are gonna be different. Come around.
Well, it's also actually still alive. Pops the coil with all lightning, so will not get stunned by that. Charge coming through. He actually finds Cuckoo in the middle of that as well. No follow-up control immediately, so that'll be bad. Now silenced up on the shackles. 1437. Well, he's the first casualty in this particular engagement, and now, well, that's a good stun. That's a good magnetize here to trigger the Aegis. Just before it expired, though, now the Serpent wants to try and help them fight up against the Timbersaw, but he has too much chance his way out. Another charge coming through. 90, though, he's dropping lower and lower. Korean Popsing, he's taking over. So is Velo. Double kill for him. They do get the Ursa a second time. Flies solo. Next on the list. Out of bashes, out of charges. And Timbersaw in Puck. They're still looking for more, though. Triple kill now for the tree cutter. Might not be done yet here. Puck is still sticking around. Another second for Blink. Velo, wow, Cuckoo finds that kill, and all of a sudden it's a lot of gold in his pocket. All of that gold that he's been missing throughout this entire game. But he might lose some of them in the moment. Green Pop Singer. All coming off cooldown, no mana to actually zip out of it. Well, this is where one of these moments where I think, alright, the fight's finally over. Let's farm this next tree wave, and then, oh, it's still here.
Oh no. Things aren't just going as well as I'd hoped. I thought things were going to turn around when I got that Timbersaw kill. Which is kind of interesting. I didn't think that he had enough damage to be able to finish off that Timbersaw. I guess the Drought or kind of gave it to him, but he zipped so far forward that he didn't have enough mana or Soul Ring for his Electric Vortex. Extinction comes off, nice charge, so catches both. Now the AoE damage from the Puck. He's low on health though, so he has to be careful about continuing this engagement and Fly Solo. Will also realize that his time has come. All of this commitment. Raven, oh, 90, just misses the blink. Silence onto Puck from the Orchid. Sam H will get that kill, so he pops his very own pinata. I mean, I don't think these kills are going to get them back in the game, but they're getting a lot of gold from each of them, so...
These two kills, these two kills alone was almost 3k gold swing according to the Fly Tree Cap. Minus 500 on the side of WG, and plus 2,300 on the side of TNC.
Okay.
So yeah, it does make a difference. Now Smoke Up, if they can carry this momentum to some more pickups like that in a phase where WG is just slowing down, trying to consolidate, they can actually make their way back in this game. They haven't actually lost a set of racks yet. All they lost was a tier 3 in the middle lane. Now, first one they run into being Timbersaw. Maybe not ideal. Now, the Hex immediately turn this around. The Shackles as well, not ideal to use it on the lower swap. The charge coming through and fight solo. But now, that's a much easier target to bring down. But Velo with the AoE and 3 heroes. Fly solo will still fall, but at what cost? One trade. Velo still looking for more. Raven, but he does get silenced up. Raven with the TP out. Actually make it out so far. Cuckoo has plenty of mana to work his way back. Controlling up the Timbersaw so the Tims can finish the TP. And now, well, up to the high ground. Successful gambit. Middle tower has fallen to creeps. Top lane Sam H is backdooring this one. They're getting something off of this.
Yeah, this is playing extremely well now after they got those 2 kills. I guess they really got their momentum going, like boosted morale. I don't know what it was, but they find 2 kills for the cost of 1 there, didn't they? And then they managed to get a tower.
Yeah.
2 towers?
2 towers.
2 towers. Yeah. 2 towers. 2
Well,
towers.
was finished up by creeps.
To get away.
And then some H. Yeah.
So they were doing a lot worse a few minutes ago.
Bushan not quite back up. He may respawn right the hell now if he wanted to, but it's a rather long one. 1 minute and 40 seconds. Till the big guy moves back into his apartment.
The big guy moves back into his apartment. Interesting analogy.
It's where he lives, so yeah, why not?
It's like a pretty poor quality of life apartment that he has there. I'm not gonna lie to you, Dragon Drop. That's like.
Hey, come on, dude! Don't judge people's living habits. Maybe he likes it that way.
I'm completely gonna judge people's living habits.
Really? How does your apartment look like right now? How clean is it?
Like the Roche pit.
Take that.
Maybe a little bit more Monster Energy drinks lying around, you know.
Yeah. Same here, to be honest. But hey, hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag would like to be sponsored. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
All right. Take another look at Imes. Actually, let's take a look at Sam H, who keeps doing this the best he can in terms of split bush and skipping creep waves. So spamming these treants. And it's actually making the difference. Right? Just forcing WG.Unity to keep looking behind themselves. He's still finding pickups like this every once in a while. Again, poor Shadow Shaman just trying to farm that Aghanim Scepter. But yeah, there's another creep right here that has to be responded to. Or else they'll lose objectives.
TNC sticking with their hiding in the trees strategy. I'm sure they learned this one from watching Free to Play.
Yep.
Nothing? Come on, you give me a better reaction than that, dude.
Dude, I made a more subtle reference earlier to the same thing. It was much better than this.
Oh,
I can't just rehash my references.
Oh,
God damn it.
I can, and then it's more funny because I made the joke, you know?
Implying that your jokes are funny.
They're
Heyo.
hilarious. Alright, Nature's Prophet continuing to push out all the lanes. What they can do is really limited. I mean, the amount of mobility Nature's Prophet and Storm Spirit both have.
Yep.
It's pretty insane. Spearbreaker can't go down to charge him or else he's too far away from the rest of the team. They want to take high ground or something like that.
Oh, for now. They get another Aegis, they also have the cheese. Puck holding onto that, and they'll also be able to finish up these shrines. Now it's just a matter of can they find the right pickoff. Ugu constantly has to go into dangerous territory to just farm, keep the lanes pushed out as well. But he's getting places, right? He does have the Ewels as a bit of a defensive utility. You do have the Bloodstone taking him up and giving him that mana region to work with. Our Ranger working on Shadowblade almost has that completed Hurricane Pike as well as, again, a bit of a defensive utility. So the cores are getting items.
Kill him Puck here.
Really?
No, Puck does have the Ewels now, so
Yes.
he's be able to find those solo pickoffs. And he's sitting on a cheese as well. but it does force him back. Like Nature's Prophet's presence in this game, stopping the enemies from being able to commit all of their heroes into pushing a lane, is huge. Like each
Nice
time.
Shadow Shaman here, nice silence though.
Yeah.
Again, just in time.
They do quite a bit of damage to him as well there. But yeah, each time they're forced to go back to deal with the Nature's Prophet split pushing a lane is like more time that they're not pushing with their Aegis. It's more time for the enemies to close the gold gap. It's very well played by Sam H.
There's some treants up top. He's taking care of this one while he himself is back in the middle lane as they trying to force the way up to the high ground. Cuckoo zipping in and out. Nice coil and a couple of heroes to charge, flying through. 1437 is the target, but now control up on fly solo to cast. Cuckoo bouncing away from it, and Ursa, well, Sages will be triggered very, very fast, but they'll have to exchange a few heroes with 2 down. 1437 and Sam H is silence. Trying to keep the puck away. He purchases it off. Velo purchases it off for him with the Lotus Orb. Now roll in Tin, trying to get that ultimate off, and he does with a couple of stones. He is dropping very low himself despite the shrine being used. Cuckoo now on the run, still pretty full on mana. But he's last man standing. The rest of his team have taken his spill. He finishes up screen. Can he find more? He's starting to run low. Stick charges. I'll carry him all the way back towards the fountain. But they will still lose their racks.
Well played by them. Very good execution on that team fight. They had everything they needed to break high ground there. Just too much HP, too much life.
That's always up.
Too much damage.
Yeah. Puck eats the cheese preemptively. Now he can start to turn things around on Saucer. He still does a ridiculous amount of damage. With the fail and level 3 Dagon. Oh man.
Yep.
That was what? That was almost 2k damage within the span of like 3 seconds.
Yeah, let me ask you this, Drop. Do you really need right clickers to take Raxes and do tons of building damage if you have Dagon? Eh?
Well, you can't use that on buildings. That would be a fun change though. Just imagine everyone building Dagon was walking up to a tier 3. just zapping it down.
That's
this is probably a Dota Ember mod or something that does that.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of what we got when Ice Frog gave us the ability to use 4 staffs on gyro rockets. That was a change.
Same style of change for sure. But game is kind of slowed down a little bit. Getting up to the 30-minute mark, but WG, they, as I said, they did score a great victory. They did have to end up, they did end up using the cheese as well as the Aegis. So next time they push might be in, not until they get the next set round of that. Or the next round of these items. Oh god, you gotta be careful.
Alright, net worth advantage completely back in the favor of WG if we started to see it turn back around. Sam H's efforts are noticed though. That guy is just trying his best. Respect to him. Just not giving up, you know?
Yeah.
Trying
to living in this off lane.
Yeah. Just living in the danger zone, some would say. As far as,
Welcome to the danger zone. Da 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 da. Reminds me of a really cool song.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Kenny Loggins.
Bottom shrine now being worked away. It's again more time for some H to push down this creep wave a little bit. We're gonna dump some treants, get themselves out again.
Stormspear working on his Orchid now. He's probably gonna have it for the next major fight, unless they choose to group together and go up this high ground at bottom immediately. I don't think they will be able to though. Yeah, we see TP coming out from Timbersaw. Nature's Prophet's definitely gonna have to back off, and then he says, "Wow, thank you for the farm, Nature's Prophet." Because he gets not just a creep wave, but 2 spawns of trance as they try and flee away from the nature-destroying monster.
That's very descriptive. Very nice.
This was the lore matchup I was talking about earlier.
Right, so gonna bring something up. So, do you think Orchid's actually the right choice here for the Storm Pit, considering how this already use the BKB on your Ursa, would you be better served trying to build straight into a Cypher Vice?
I really wouldn't be able to give you an answer myself. I mean, I see what he's going for. The Orchid does tons of right-click damage as well. Be able to silence both the Witch Doctor, Timbersaw. Being able to silence any of those heroes is extremely useful. But they do have answers for the Orchid. Like, they have an Orchid on Nature's Prophet, and they have an Orchid on Storm Spirit, or they're about to have an Orchid on Storm Spirit.
Oh, he should be fine, okay.
Draw the silence. As long as they can silence him after they use their BKB or after they've used their Yules, it's still extremely useful.
Not so much for the Shadow Shaman though. He just
Shadow Shaman has been deleted from the game.
Yeah. Didn't take long at all, and it should be tier 3 for sure. It's Nature's Prophet also down for the count for another 10 seconds. Velo doing its best just to be annoying, just to keep them away from the racks, so 90 and Screen can do their work there. The silence. Catching one, fly solo. Well, that's where we can fight. That works. Cuckoo coming in, trying to run interference here. There's no Aegis this time around, but still get the objectives. Meanwhile, Puck coming through, racking down Raven as he sounds up now. The Yule Scepter up into the air. DKB on Sam H, trying to turn things around, but Nighty, well, doesn't care about DKBs, neither does the Death Warden. Well, not even focusing on this Nature's Prophet, just bring down everyone else that they can get their hands on. Shackles almost bring down Fly Solo as they're diving in the freaking fountain. Come on, guys. This is way too deep, but they're doing it. They're getting kills. They're forcing out the GG. And TNC, well, not the brightest day. And with this, I believe that WG.Unity, they won this game, they won against Signify. They lost to Execration, so they're sitting at 2-1. Execration also sitting at 2-1. Signify, I believe, at Execration might win against Signify. That's being played out on the other game, on the other channel. Not sure where that's how that's looking. But whatever the case, Execration and WG.Unity should actually be through out of this group stage. Out of Group B.
Well, they played very well this game, and seeing what they do in the main tournament. So, draw strat. I don't know. I'm not a fan. This is like one of the things that go horribly wrong when you have trying to run a draw strat, because even though you're powering up all the heroes on your team, you're too focused on pushing. You have one hero that basically all you have is the right clicks and the silence. I feel like it's really lackluster against a lot of lineups, and it can be really difficult to make it work. Enemy heroes can run at you, which is exactly what WGU did here.
Yep. Alright. As it stands, it was a very action-packed game though for the longest time. Still 49 and 18 and what was like a 33 score, by the way, 33-22. Not the score, the timing. A little bit out of it already, which is not a good sign, because I have more games coming up later today. That'll be in the Wellplay Invitational, so you can go ahead, follow me on Twitter if you're interested in that, at DragonDropDota. You can also follow my co-caster Neff, at NeffSensei.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you have more games.
I know, right? You don't have to jump.
What's wrong with you?
Dude, I'm doing this full time now, so I gotta do the grind.
Yeah, you need to take a break sometimes. So take care of yourself, man. I care about you.
Thanks, man. Alright, with that, my last words, as always, thank you guys very much for watching, and see you next time.